she goes upstairs to my dad. She's like, okay, the contractions are like 2 minutes apart and I can't even breathe. They're so bad and we're ready to go. So she shakes my dad awake, because it's like 2 a.m. But she shakes my dad awake and she goes, Mike, it's time. It's time. This is the first piece of family lore. 3 words that have lived in infamy for the last 40 years. My dad responds, are you sure? It's never been a secret in my family that I was a mistake. Or as we say, an accident. Yeah, we don't talk about it explicitly, but the signs have always been there. For one, nobody in their right mind has 3 kids in 3 years by design. I mean, that's crazy, unless you're like Alec and Hilaria Baldwin. And then there were other clues, like that one time my 2 sisters and I were having a talk with our mom when we were teenagers about how my one sister was ready to start having protected sex with her then boyfriend, and she wanted to go to the doctor to get, started on birth control, and my mom said, okay, let's do that, let's get you set up with the doctor. Just remember, condoms aren't 100% effective. How do you think she got here? Thanks, Mom. Okay. So anyway, because of the sort of inherently comedic nature of my very existence, my mom loves to tell the story of my birthday, the actual day of my birth, because she likes to say it is somewhat illustrative of the person that I grew into. So to your point, Marianne, how I came into this world ended up being very indicative of the person that I am. So even though my existence was accidental, my arrival was very intentional. So let me set the scene for you guys. You'll get 2 pieces of family lore as part of this story tonight, so I won't quiz you at the end, but you'll get 2 pieces of family lore. So let me set the scene for you. It was July 19th, 1984. My mom had just turned 30. She's got a 15-month-old on one hip. She's got a 2.5-year-old on the other hip. Like, this is insane. 9 months pregnant. Again, insane. And she feels a little contraction. And she's like, oh, this is my 3rd time. I know how this goes. Oh, contraction. I'm ready to go. So she calls my dad in, calls her mom, calls her sister, says, okay, everybody, come on over. Time to watch the babies. Mike and I have to go to the hospital and pop out this therapy. So they get the go bag. They go to the hospital. She says to the doctor, I got this. I've done this twice in the past 2 years. I'm good. Let's get the show on. A few hours go by. There's no progress. Okay. She's like eating her popsicle, watching General Hospital on TV. She's like, happy as fun. So the whole day goes by, and then into the evening, the nurse comes in and she says, "Damn, this baby's not coming today. Like, you're not making any progress. So your baby is like pretty happy in there, and she's just not making any, or they're just not making any movement. Because at that point, they didn't know that they were in a boy or girl. And I think we need to send you home because we need to free up this bed. This baby's not coming tonight." So my mom, because she's a Gemini, she's a little melodramatic. She's a June 2nd baby. She went home with my dad, totally dejected. And as she tells this story, again, this is her story. She went home, she closed the drapes, she just put herself to bed. She said to my dad, "No visitors. It's so depressing to go home from the hospital without a baby." And my dad's like, "The baby's still in there." She's like, "I just really thought we were in the hospital with a baby." So anyway, the next day, my dad takes care of my two other infant sisters. My mom just stays in bed all day, takes care of herself. Her mom brings her a sandwich, takes care of her. Okay. My mom's like, "When is this baby gonna come?" Another day goes by, another night goes by, nothing's happening. And my mom, again, as she tells the story, is like talking to the baby, saying, okay, baby, come on. Okay, baby, come on. It's time. Let's go. Let's go. What's happening? Here we go. We're ready. Another day goes by, another night goes by, and she's like, oh my God, let's go. The next night, she's awoken by a kick. She's like, okay, baby. I felt that one. I got it. Is it time? She feels a really big contraction. But she's like, I'm not going to fall for this again. We're going to give it a few minutes. So a few minutes goes by, she gets another big contraction. And she's like, again, I'm not falling for this. I'm going to get up, walk around, and make sure these contractions are regular. Anyone in here who's been in labor knows how this goes. We're going to make sure the contractions come at a regular interval. Okay, we all know how this goes. So she starts pacing downstairs. She waits for the contractions to get faster and faster, more and more regular. And then finally she's going to wait till the last minute until she's sure this baby's coming. So she waits till she can't even talk. They're so bad. She's clenching her teeth. She goes upstairs to my dad. She's like, okay, the contractions are like 2 minutes apart and I can't even breathe. They're so bad and we're ready to go. So she shakes my dad awake because it's like 2 a.m. She shakes my dad awake and she goes, Mike, it's time. It's time. This is the first piece of family lore. 3 words that have lived in infamy for the last 40 years. My dad responds, are you sure? To this day, he cannot utter those words without my mom wanting to kill him. Needless to say, she still needed to ride to the hospital, so she did not murder him in that moment. They go to the hospital. I'm out in like an hour. I was ready. What can I say? I like to do things on my own time. I decided it was time, so it was time. And I said, Mom, I'm coming. It's time. It's like, well, everything was done. Another, exactly. Decisive, stubborn, etc. So the other piece of family lore requires a little background. My mom is the youngest of 3 girls, and she loves her sister. She loves being one of 3 girls. She loves being the youngest. So when she knew she was having a 3rd baby, she thought, well, it's going to be a boy because how could I be so lucky as to have 3 girls? I could also have a 3rd girl. That's just insane. That would never happen. So when she had her baby and it was a girl, and they said, congratulations, it's a girl, and handed her the girl, the first thing she said was, it's a girl, what are the chances? To which my sisters and I always say to her, 50-50, Mom. Yeah. 50-50. She was like, I just couldn't believe it. How could it be? And we're always like, 50-50, Mom. So she was over the moon. She was so excited. So anyway, the reason my mom loves to tell this story is, there's the comedic value. As Lizzie likes to say, yes, this is a story about how my parents were like total horn dogs and couldn't keep their hands off each other with 2 little babies sleeping next door. And they ended up with an accidental 3rd child. But it's really a story about how in this fight of nature versus nurture, we're born with so many innate qualities. And for some people, how you come into this world is how you are. It's illustrative of your whole personality. And in my case, I came out ready to go on my own time. I maybe wasn't intended for this world, but gosh darn it, I was going to make a point on my way in. So when nature versus nurture comes up, sometimes nature just eats nurture for breakfast.